What's up guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be reviewing this 2021 Daihatsu Rocky, and I'll take you around the car, show you the engine bay as well as the interior, and then we'll go for a drive. Let's see how it is. Let's do this. Okay, so some of you may know the Daihatsu Rocky from the 80s and 90s as an 4x4 off-roader, right? So now the Rocky's back in this crossover city economy car. Well, it's actually not a bad look. So starting off in the front here, we've got this massive grille, and the whole styling of the car is basically a new generation of styling from Toyota and Daihatsu, we could say. And right here, this big grille actually looks pretty good, and 50% of it is actually ducting for cooling the AC condenser as well as the radiator, as well as the intercooler, because this one's turbocharged. And we've got a nice red accent on top, a nice little touch for sportiness, right? And they got this, Toyota has a whole line of massive headlights now that looks really aggressive. And over this side, right here, we've got 17-inch wheels alloy, and it's wrapped in Dunlop EC300s 205/60 17s. Okay, so an interesting part about the side here, I would say, is that it comes from factory with rain guard. Also has the Rocky name brand over here, pretty nice. And right here on the bottom, this is actually an aftermarket add-on, so you do not get this from factory, and everything else is pretty much stock. So going over to the rears, so right in the rears we've got a really nice lift back trunk, and they got this nice flow of headlights to the middle garnish to the other headlights. Makes the car look really sleek, and its opening clearance is actually pretty short, so going for tight spaces for parallel parking in the city, or maybe going to tight spots, it will be really nice, because this car does not demand large spaces like most SUVs. Other than that, it's got like a nice sporty diffuser in the rears as well, and that's pretty much a really nice touch in the exterior from Daihatsu to this new Rocky. Now onto the interior. Mind you, this is not a stock factory Daihatsu Rocky interior. It has been retrimmed before, but that's not the point. So right here we've got a really nice setup, in my opinion, for economy car. For the steering wheel, we got a 3-spoke steering wheel with a lot of assistive buttons right here, and right here in the middle we've got a 9-inch screen, I believe, and as well as a digital climate control. So it's also got start-stop push buttons, and aside from that, everything else is pretty standard. You got your normal 12-volt socket over there, nice 21-amp battery USB charger, and everything else would be pretty standard as it would be in another car. But I would say the interior of this Rocky does not look like an economy car, and it does have some features that makes it really stand out. For example, right here in the seats, it has been retrimmed before, but I will focus more on the bolstering that they have from the factory. In my opinion, it's kind of sporty, where you're able to take a little bit of body roll in this car. Alright, let's go to the rears. Alright, so right now I'm sitting in the rears, and I would say it is pretty spacious, but I am probably around 5'4", so I have a lot of room in here, but I would say knee room and headroom are plenty, so anyone taller would feel pretty comfortable here in the back. One thing though, the seats do not go front or back, so it's a fixed position and it's pretty upright. So sitting in the rears for a long distance, that might be an issue for some people, but it will suffice for city economy driving. Alright, let's check out the trunk. Alright, now we're back here in the trunk. Trunk room is actually a lot, so you don't have to worry about space, because I fit exhaust, bumpers and side skirts in this car, and it's got a good amount of space here for luggage, maybe looking around 3 to 4 like travel size baggages. And these seats, they do fold down, and that gives you extra room for even more space. So you get all the way to the front, and it does have a cargo net from factory depending on the model or specifications that you get, but it does keep the off-road spirit alive in this car actually. And right here you got a standard full-size spare 17-inch wheel, and that's pretty much it for the trunk. Alright, now let's get to the fun part, the engine bay. So right in here we have a 1-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine from Toyota, pushing out 98 horsepower and 140 newton meters of torque. What's interesting about this engine is that they put a turbo in this small displacement engine, and it makes it more fuel efficient as well as make it more powerful in the road. So I would say, since it's a 3-cylinder, it does have a lot of torque, but it's just not powerful enough to power the whole car. And the turbo does help it. Maybe it has around 0.3, 0.4 bars of boost, and going around in the city with this car would be pretty nice. After this, we're going on a test drive, and I'm going to show you how it drives. Other than that, fuel economy is actually pretty good in this car. Daihatsu claim 18.6 kilometers per liter, but my personal use and driving around pretty far and going back and forth in the city, it only gives me around like 13 to 14 kilometers an hour, which is still pretty good for an economy car, so not too bad. Well, that's just a small recap of what they have done going on here in the engine. Now let's go for a test drive. Alright, now that we reviewed the interior, exterior, as well as the engine, let's go for a test drive. Alright, so starting off, I could say that the steering wheel is kind of light compared to most cars that I've driven. Definitely don't know the reason for that, but other than that, it's pretty nice. One thing I forgot to mention is that this car comes in a 1.2 liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine as well, and also the transmission options would be a CVT or a 5-speed manual. So now I'm just gonna go for a little pull here. So, you know, right off the bat I could tell that the turbo instantly delivers power, so it's more of a nice linear power band type of setup here compared to like the ones with lag. So lower on the performance part, more in comfort. And this car I would consider a nice city car because it does really good in low-end torque, maybe 1 to 3K RPMs, and anything above it, maybe around 4, you start to lose a lot of power there. That's basically what I'm feeling, and it's raining right now, so yeah. But now, yeah, so I'm speeding up right now. Like I said, has a lot of power in the low end. As you start to go to the higher up in the RPMs, it starts to lose the power a little bit. But since it's a city economy car, especially for a crossover, it is really comfortable going around the city where you can bolt around. And as for the highway, it's enough to maintain like good cruising speed. Let's just turn around and head back to where we came from. As for the brakes, they're really light, and just now over there in the turns, I could really feel a little bit of body roll since this car has like a boxy styling, but like I said, the slight little bowstring here actually helps me stick a little bit better to my seat. Alright, now for the braking, brakes are a little light, but since it's not a heavy car, weighing under 1 ton, it does its job pretty good. So well, that's just a nice little short test drive. I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.